Hey there, Fit Fam. Welcome back to Pod Laughs and Muscle Curls, your go-to destination for fitness, motivation, and laughter. Today, in an episode of Joe Rogan's JRE podcast, he explained why the religion of Islam plays such an important part in many Muslim MMA fighters, especially Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the best MMA fighters in the sport. He used Khabib as an example and listed some benefits of being devoted to his fighting capabilities.
And when you're in a camp, I would imagine that kind of having a rigid schedule like that and having extreme discipline and having a real purpose, like when you're doing this to pray to God and you have these 5 prayers that you do during the day, like it keeps you on the path.
Being in Dubai and Abu Dhabi for those 5 weeks, it was great for me because it was like not an eye opener, but it was just more like refreshing because you're training and then you hear the call to prayer. So every single person, I don't care if you're the janitor or the workman or the fighter or anything, you're all going to pray at the same time. You're all shoulder to shoulder praying next to each other. And there's no like ranking in that. We're all shoulder to shoulder, we're all praying to the same God, doing the same exact thing at the same exact time. And you don't really get that kind of feeling in America. It's like if I pull out my rug to pray on the street at a certain time, people are looking at you weird, like, oh, what is this? Or you'll have random people just like beeping or saying stupid things because they don't understand what it is. They don't understand the discipline it is to, all right, this is God's time now. We're supposed to pray 5 times a day. I don't care where it is. What you're doing, it needs to stop for this. And every single one of those guys had that mentality. Like, God's ahead of all of us.
When you stop to pray, how long do you stop for?
Every prayer is probably like 5-10 minutes long. So once you begin the prayer, it's not that long. So like I tell people all the time where they're like, dang, you gotta pray 5 times a day? But in the end, it's 50 minutes out of your life, 50 minutes out of your day, out of 24 hours. When you waste so much time scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through the phone, and things like that. It's like, give those 10 minutes to God. Give those 10 minutes to the person that brought you here.
How does it work on a day you fight?
Same thing. Usually, so there's a morning prayer when you wake up in the morning prayer. Then there's afternoon. Then there's a midday prayer. And then there's a sunset prayer right when the sun sets. So usually right after that prayer is the fights. After that probably, and then after the fight, you pray again. Your late night prayer. So for me also, it just holds you accountable to no matter what happens in the fight, whether you win or lose, I still owe to God to pray. Whether it's I'm thanking Him for a win or I'm thanking Him that I'm still able to pray, I'm still alive right now. Talk to God. It centers you a lot of the time too, because in those 10 minutes you're not stressing. You're not thinking about the stresses of life. Oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. That normal people have in the workday. I think it's kind of like a meditation for me. It clears my mind, clears my head, and knowing that I got it done. And at the end of the day, I know that that's the most important thing. I don't care, oh man, I forgot to do my homework. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do the stuff that I was supposed to do for work. But it's like, I did the most important things, which is pray.
And when you're in a camp, I would imagine that kind of having a rigid schedule like that and having extreme discipline and having a real purpose, like when you're doing this to pray to God and you have these 5 prayers that you do during the day, like it keeps you on the path.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys, there's something to whatever Khabib's doing that's not just technique. It's not just that they have great technique. It's not just that they're tough guys. There's also this devout sort of ideology that they've ascribed to, that they live their life by. They're so devout in their religious beliefs that they have so much confidence. It's almost like that's all taken care of. Like they can just concentrate on what they do.
Yeah.
Like that, God has a plan for everything. You don't have to like have this existential angst that a lot of people roll around through life with.
Yeah, we have a thing called tawakkul. It means like God's will. So whatever His will is, that's what it is. So you could sit there and train and be super stressed out and like, am I gonna win or am I gonna lose this fight? It's like you just tell yourself, whatever God's will, that's what's meant to be.
Joe Rogan is one of Spotify's most bankable podcasters, with his videos garnering 17 million followers, and at the end of the interview he also spoke about his own experience observing Muslims praying 5 times a day, and during the interview, Rogan added that Muslims don't have the distractions that regular people deal with on a daily basis. For example, Muslim fighters are not partying. Like the guys that are from Khabib Nurmagomedov's camp are some of the most dominant fighters. They wear their hair all exactly the same way. They practice. All they care about is family, religion, training. They don't chase girls, they don't drink. They are just training constantly, like insanely dedicated to their craft. And they are the most dominant. Brothers and sisters, if Joe Rogan as a non-Muslim can say that Islam had an electrifying impact on the success of Muslim MMA fighters, and he can't believe how they are so focused. As Muslims, we should be taking advantage of practicing our deen and trying to understand it better every single day. This is a universal religion, and it inspired many other major celebs, including Will Smith, when he said he was surprised from reading the Quran and the simplicity. I want all the viewers, including myself, to take this as a huge reminder, especially in this beautiful month of Ramadan. If you are chasing your dreams and goals in life, there is no doubt Islam plays a huge role in your success, and this is what Joe Rogan understood as a non-Muslim. As a response to Rogan's observation, he is correct. Islam teaches us that you can also be successful in this life, but it is more important to remember to strive to be successful in the hereafter. At the same time, Islam teaches us to be humble and respectable. Rogan continued his analysis by saying, but even when they do have much, like Khabib is very wealthy and drives a Toyota truck. I mean, he lives in the same house. He is very devoted in his beliefs and the way he is raising other fighters. And he just got out. I think he just decided to retire completely from mixed martial arts coaching and everything. Very religious, the podcaster had very high words for Khabib Nurmagomedov. Rogan then explained his opinion on why religion is important for some people. He explained, I think there is some sort of a benefit to having structure, and there is benefit to having purpose. There is benefit to having rituals and things that everyone does together. There is a bonding that comes with that. It can't be denied. With this in mind, we challenge our viewers today to learn about the benefits of Salat and why it is important to be punctual and not miss any of them, especially the early morning Salat. Also, I encourage all of our viewers to pick up the Quran and read it, especially if you are a Muslim. There is no excuse, and this is a great reminder of how beautiful and inspiring the Quran is, and we should not neglect this book. Before we conclude another one of our episodes, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.